Na nishchitarthat viramanti dhiraha. This is the second essay that we have to deal with. It's written by Jandhyala Venkata Subramanya Shastri. Okay. Many scholars were associated with Chittoor at that point, I guess. Anyway, Nischita Arthat Dhiraha Na Viramanti. This is a quotation from Bhartrhari's Niti Shatakam. So he starts explaining with that shloka in mind, and we'll go to the text directly. So, anyone wants to start today?
Na nishchitartat viramanti dhiraha. The resolute do not desist from their resolution.
Nischita artha, something that they have made a decision. If they have decided upon something to do, then they will not stop until they achieve the result.
So the Jandhyala is the name of a place, or what is
Irkano. Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
Because in Telugu, they usually have their town names, or sometimes they have their gotram as the first name also.
Okay. Suktiriyam
somebody told Jandyala is means that the thread that you after you wear after Upanayanam, that Punal or what you call it.
That is Janayu, no?
In Telugu, they say Jandyala for that. That's what somebody told me. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I have a lot of people with that last name here in Jandyala.
Oh, okay.
But this is not Jandyala. This is Jandyala.
No, that it could be because of later changes. Yeah.
Okay. Suktiriyam ativa prasiddha virajate. This wise saying is well known, and it shines brilliantly. सुभाषितमिदं भर्तृहरिकृते सुभाषितत्रिशती नामके ग्रन्थे प्रतितं Gratitam. Okay, I am reading from a book. Okay.
Then I'll open that also.
No, it is Gratitam only. I am reading wrong. It looks like Pratitam, but it is Gratitam. Okay. This is a well-known aphorism from Bhartruhari's book called Subhashita Trishati. It's a book, 300 adages or something like that.
Verses are there. Actually, there are 3 sets of 100. You have Niti Shatakam for the second paper in Chittoor. There is Shringara Shatakam and Vairagya Shatakam. The more popular ones are Niti Shatakam and Vairagya Shatakam. The Shringara Shatakam is not as popular.
Yeah. Is Vairagya Shatakam also something that we will study as a elective or something?
No, not in Chittoor texts, definitely not. But it's something worth reading.
Okay. ग्रन्थोऽसौ अनेकासु भाषासु परिवर्तितः इति अनेन एव तस्य ग्रन्थस्य कवेश्च महत्वं परिज्ञायते. The importance of this book as well as its author can be ascertained from the very fact that this book has been translated into very many languages.
Granthaha asau, this work, anekasu bhashasu parivartitaha, it has been transformed. So, which means it has been translated into many languages. Iti aneyanaiva. With this itself, we understand, it is understood. Parignyayate, the greatness of both the work and the kavi is understood.
So, anuditaha is different from parivartitaha. It's not exact literal translation. They change it something when they translate into their work.
See,
their language.
Parivartitaha could be if you are rendering it in verse format, let's say. You cannot do a literal translation in a verse format. It will be translating of the idea. There are texts which in Sanskrit, there are people have converted Tirukural into Sanskrit shlokas, Anushtup shlokas. But then the idea is very different sometimes. It is not the same words that are literally translated. So literal translation would be Anuvadaha. Parivartanam would be a rendering in.
Okay. एतत् सूक्ति घटित श्लोकस्तु एवं वर्तते. This particular sukti is in this verse. This verse contains this particular
evam vartate, the verse that is ghatita, that has this sukti. Etat sukti ghatita shlokaha itukte, the shloka which has this contains this sukti. Sukti is the first line here.
That shloka is given below. Ratnair maharhai tutushuna devaha na bhejire bhima vishe na bhitim sudham vina na prayayur viramam na nishchitartat viramanti dhiraha.
So ratnaihi maharhaihi ratnaihi devaha na tutushuhu. So this is the incident here is when the devas were doing the samudra mathanam, kshirabdi mathanam, that incident is being portrayed in this manner. So he says ratnaihi maharhaihi ratnaihi, maharha, invaluable gems, even with invaluable gems or expensive gems, devaha na tutushuhu, the gods were not very happy with the gems that they got. So a lot of things came out of the ocean in the beginning itself. So like the moon, Lakshmi, so many things came out of it. Uchchaishravas, all of those came out, right? But then they did not even fear when the Visham came out. Bhima Vishena Bhitim na bhejire. They did not attain fear even when the terrible halahala visham came out. Sudham bina viramam na prayayuhu. They did not take rest until they got without amritam. Sudham bina, because that was their goal. They wanted the amritam because they wanted the immortality that came along with it, and hence they did not stop until they got that sudha. So sudham bina, without the amrita, viramam na prayayuhu, they did not take any rest or go for taking any rest. So this the Arthantranyasa here is, he justifies it with the lokokti. He says, na nishchitartat dhiraha viramanti. If it is a person with steadfast mind, he will not take rest or he will not stop his work without attaining the decided goal.
The devas were neither pleased.
Haridas, you had a question?
Yeah, no, what I was saying was the Sandhi in the verse is kind of haphazard. So you have Ratnair, then Mahar Hais, Tushur, Nadeva. Like if you know what I'm saying is, they should either do the whole thing or they should not do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It is awkward.
Yeah, it is a bit. எல்லாமே பிரிச்சு போடலாம் இல்ல.
ஆமா.
Yeah.
But when we are rendering in a chandas format, then it is little bit.
இல்லையே, இப்படிதானே சொல்லணும். ரத்னைர் மஹார்ஹைஸ் துதுஷுர் ந தேவாஹ. அப்பதான் வரும். இல்லைன்னா தனியா பிரிச்சோம்னா then you won't get the meter properly.
Okay.
But what happens is we need to put an anvaya then or pirichu போடணும். The whole thing is not given in the shloka as such.
இருக்குன்னு நினைச்சேன்.
இல்ல. அப்போ I can do one anvaya here, right? Or not anvaya, padacheda. இல்ல இங்கே பதச்சேதம் பண்ணு.
That is not needed.
இல்ல விட்டுருங்க, பரவாயில்ல, அவ்வளவுதான்.
நான் இதையே பிரிச்சு விடுறேன். It's easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Asya ayam artha. The meaning of this verse is as below. Dhiraha dhimantaha vivekinaha naraha. The dhiraha, the patient or the
no,
mind,
not patient. Dhi means mind.
Steadfast mind.
People who have this discriminating power as to what is their goal, priority தெரிஞ்சவான்னு அர்த்தம். Those who understand priority also.
The vivekinaha.
I think when you're saying steadfast, I think you're thinking about dhairyam, right?
Yeah.
No, manodhairyam.
Yeah, but here dhi is intellect, right? So dhiraha is the one who has a keen mind, I think, a completely different origin. I mean, what Shankari Mahodaya was saying was steadfast. So I was thinking that goes more with dhairyam rather than the dhiraha are those who have dhihi, right? Who have intellect. right?
Only when they are equipped with such an intellect, they can stay. Otherwise, their mind will stray.
No, but I think your dhairyam comes from the dhru dhatu, not the dhi.
No, we are not talking about dhairyam here. Steadfast mind is where the intellect controls the dilemma that is there in the mind.
Okay, so you're
So,
going from an artha perspective. Okay, yeah. I was thinking of it more from a etymological perspective, you know.
the courageous in sonna, then it is different.
Correct. The dhairyam அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, I think the dhatu there is different. Whereas if you say
Yeah.
dhiraha, it is more about the the intellect, right?
Absolutely. Yes, that's why I keep saying steadfast mind, not
Mind.
courageous.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Vivekinaha naraha is the discriminating people with a discriminating power. Nishchitartat kartavyattvena nirnitat vishayat. A subject that has been determined to be a duty that ought to be performed from any subject, from any matter. Na viramanti, virata na bhavanti. They do not cease
Stop.
or resign from that duty, doing that duty.
Okay.
Loke,
Continue.
लोके बुद्धिशालिनः पुरुषाः कस्यचित् कार्यस्य आरम्भात् पूर्वमेव एतत् कर्तुम् अस्माकं शक्यं वा अशक्यं वेति कर्तुम् उचितं वा न वेति च सम्यक् विचार्य तत् कार्यं कर्तुं वा अकर्तुं वा निर्णयं कुर्वन्ति. Before starting any work in this world, the intelligent, the people who have that kind of dhihi, intelligent people think and they deliberate thoroughly whether it is
Go by the words, because when you're randomly saying in English, I don't know which word you are exactly translating and whether you understand the meaning of that particular word. Okay. So when you say loke buddhishalinaha purushaha, in this world, intelligent people. Go by that.
Kasyachit karyasya, some karyam, some work.
Phrase. Go by a phrase. Arambhat kasyachit karyasya arambhat purvameva.
Before starting a particular work, some work. एतत् कर्तुम् अस्माकं शक्यं वा अशक्यं वा इति, whether it is practical or possible for us, whether we are capable of doing that work or not. कर्तुम् उचितं वा न वा इति च सम्यक् विचार्य, whether it is a proper or suitable thing to do or not, like that they deliberate thoroughly. Samyak vicharya,
having thought about it, having analyzed whether this work is possible by us or not possible, whether this work karyam uchitam, kartum uchitam, whether it is proper for us to do or not, iti samyak vicharya, having analyzed in this manner.
Kartum va akartum va nirnayam kurvanti. They decide to either do it or the work or not to do it. They make the decision whether to do it or not. आरब्धस्य च कार्यस्य मध्ये विघ्नाः यद्यपि सम्भवन्ति तथापि ते आरम्भात् कार्यात् नैव विरमन्ति. Even when hindered by many obstacles, after having started a work, they do not stop. They do not resign from the work.
Arabdhasya karyasya madhye, in the middle of a work that has been started, arabdhasya. Vignaha yadyapi sambhavanti, yadyapi, even though vignaha sambhavanti, obstacles may happen. Tathapi, even then, te here refers to
Buddhishalinaha
purushaha. Those intelligent people, arabdhat karyat naiva viramanti. Naiva viramanti, they do not stop or take or cease from the work that has been started.
Atayeva te dhiraha ityuchyante. That's why they are called as dhira, the steadfast and the resolute kind of people. Prashastam dhyam jnana sadhana bhutam buddhim Rati Grinnati iti dhiraha. Prashastam Diya means it's a commendable intellect.
That's what he gives the translation for Prashastha as Jnana Sadhana Bhutam.
Buddhim. The mental intelligence, which is a means for acquiring knowledge. Rati Grinnati iti dhiraha. Someone who perceives or holds.
Who perceives, who
holds and grabs and.
Okay. Yeah.
What else can we say?
Possesses.
Who possesses? Yeah. Who has such a buddhi?
But that buddhi is for perceiving that, right? Perceiving worldly things, whether it can be done, work can be done, whether we are capable or not.
Yeah.
That kind of
So he
knowledge,
takes on that particular faculty in his mind and uses it to acquire knowledge, to analyze what is going on in the world.
Yeah. The patient and the steadfast people possess such a mental intelligence to perceive things.
Usually, Rati nama Dani Dadati Minarteva. Grinnati iti kinchit
Stretched.
So Grinna, so he gives intellect. Nama, he probably gives thought to whatever he's doing in that sense.
There is a irayati ityapi asti. Dhyam irayati.
Irayati. Irayati nama sound, right? To make a sound, to be impelled, to set into motion. Okay, just to inspire, to set into motion.
Dadati, Grinnati, both are there for Rati.
Rati, Dadati. Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, makes sense. Okay. In that sense, Diyam would be karma, right? Diyam would be the karma.
Yes.
And so Diyam Rati. So he holds the intellect or he gives in thought to it. Okay. It's interesting because I've seen the alternative in a different dictionary for Dhr Dhatu. So I was a little bit confused, but this makes sense.
Yeah.
Anaya eva hi dhya manushyaha ahara nidra bhayadi samye satyapi pashubhyaha vidyate. Because of this very intellect, the man is differentiated from animals, even though both are having common traits such as food, sleep, fear, etc.
Okay. So Anaya Dhiya Eva, because of this intellect, that is that extra intellect that we say, Manushyaha, man, Pashubhyaha Bhidyate, he is different from animals. Even though Satyapi, even though there is the Samyam, a similarity with respect to Ahara, Nidra, Bhaya, etc.
Yenaya eva khalu buddhya samsarasya asaratam anityatam cha nirdharya shamadamadi sadguna sampattim sampadya atmatattvam avagati purvakam atraiva moksha samrajyam adhigacchati dhiman. Because of this intellect,
word by word,
anaya eva kalu buddhya, by this very intellect, by this intellect only, by means of this intellect only, the samsarasya asaratam, the fragile
samsarasya asaratam anityatam cha nirdharya.
So he understands and determines the fragile and fruitless nature of this mundane.
Not fragile.
Life.
It's more like
worthless,
non-eternal. Anityata.
Yeah, that is, anityata is the transient and impermanent existence. The asaratam is what I was thinking.
Essenceless nature of this samsara. That is, the samsara has no particular essence to it, because anything you pursue doesn't seem to give us enough happiness as an everlasting happiness. So there is no everlasting nature to this samsara. So he understands that because there is an anityata to this samsara, it also proves to be without any essence, without any sara. So samsarasya asaratam anityatam cha nirdharya. Having established that this samsara has no saram, nor is it nityam. Iti enaya buddhya eva. With this intellect that we are talking about, jnana sadhana bhutaya eva buddhya. Because that when you use enaya, then it has to indicate something which has already been said in the earlier shloka.
That's the specialty of the pronoun enam, right? Because it has to refer to the previous as opposed to
previously stated one.
Anvadesha.
Anvadesha.
Yes. Instead of randomly saying etaya buddhya, it can mean any buddhi.
Madhya, the way you explained it, the anityatam leads to asaratam, right?
Yeah.
But then here it is given in the opposite way. Asaratam, anityatam.
That's okay. Asaratam, yataha anityata. It's okay.
We can do it in either way.
Why not?
Okay.
The interesting thing is how there's an unconscious wordplay here. Samsara, asara. Samyak sarati iti samsara. And then he's got the sara, but this is a different asara. He's got the second one, right?
This asaram is essence here. Sara bhutamati. Okay.
Okay. Nirdharya shamadamadi sadguna sampattim sampadya.
It should be shadguna.
Sadguna is what is there in the book.
Now change it to shadguna because there are 6 qualities sadhana sampatti that you have, which are shama, dama, uparati, titiksha,
viveki, mumukshu,
shraddha, mumukshutvam.
Samadhana appears.
Samadhanam, not shraddha.
Shraddha is there. Shraddha is there. Mumukshu is there.
So some people I think say samadhanam instead of shraddha instead of samadhanam, because samadhi comes with the ashtanga yoga. So here shama, dama, uparati, titiksha.
Tatapi sadguna iti tatra
good qualities.
There, right? There's no fault there, right?
There's no fault as such, but because we know that shamadamadi is usually a set of 6.
Correct. Okay, I'll change in what is there in the book. We have to change it. Okay.
Where is that Modi? Does it come in Vedanta text, the 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vedanta Sangraha.
Viveka Chudamani.
Many texts you have this. It is called sadhana sampatti. In that sadhana sampatti, this is the third one. The first one is, he goes by that only, no? Samsarasya asaratam anityatam nirdharya ityukte nityanatya vastu vivekaha. Tadanantaram ihamutrartha phalabhoga viraga. Then you have shamadamadi shatkam. You're right. Samadhanam is the one of that. The fourth one is mumukshutvam. Correct. In the sadhana sampatti, the fourth one is mumukshutvam. So then the 6 qualities that are there are shama, dama, uparati, titiksha, samadhanam and shraddha. Correct.
Uparati is letting go.
No, uparati is internalizing all of your indriyas, vairagyam. You're pulling out all your this thing.
So vairagyam basically.
Stopping indriya sanchara is uparati.
And titiksha is
duality. Tolerance towards dualities.
Extremities.
Shitoshna, sukha dukkha.
Okay. And what is the 5th one?
Samadhanam is aikagra chittam. Chitta aikagriyam.
Okay.
Then shraddha. Vedanta vakyeshu shraddha. Or guru vakyeshu shraddha.
And shama is control of the mind and dhamma is control of the body, senses?
Yes, outer. Antarindriya nigraham, bahirindriya nigraham.
So Shamadamadi Shadguna Sampattim, all those 6 traits. One is the external self-restraint of external and internal organs, so that they don't get distracted by various temptations. And
these 6 gunas, etc. Sampadya.
After earning that, Atma Tattva Avagati Purvakam, understanding the true nature of the self. To do that, Atma Tattva Jignasa Shunyaha.
Where is that? No, that is in the next line. So, Dhiman Adhigachati.
He understands the true nature of the self by doing all these six kind of by earning these kind of six good qualities. He earns the he earns the knowledge to know the true self of Atma, and in this world itself he gets the moksha samrajyam. He attains the moksham or the liberation in this very world itself.
So Jivan Mukti. So
Jivan.
Dhiman, a person who has these traits, he is the person who will attain moksha samrajyam, the kingdom of moksha, liberation, which starts off by understanding the true nature of this Atman. Atma tattva avagati purvakam. So purvakam, that becomes the first step. The moment you understand Atma, the true nature of Atman, then you attain moksha.
The jnanam to get the moksha. He becomes the true adhikari, and after becoming a yogyata, he gets it, then he gets the jnanam.
Okay.
Okay. Etadrisha dihi ahita rahitaha tu atma tattva jignasa shunyaha punarapi jananam punarapi maranam punarapi janani jatare shayanam iti Sri Shankara Bhagavad Padaihi abhivarnitam janana marana pravaha lakshanam samsaram adhigachanti. Those people who are devoid of such an intelligence, the true nature of the self, that the people who are devoid of that, who lack that kind of intelligence, they do not engage in the inquiry of the self, and so they are stuck in the repeated cycle of birth and death.
Word by word.
Okay. Punarapi jananam, repeated birth, maranam, death, punarapi janani jatare shayanam, lying in the womb of a mother. Iti Sri Shankara Bhagavad Padaihi Rachit Abhivarnitam, as described by Sri Shankara Bhagavad Bhata, Janana Marana Pravaha Lakshanam Samsaram, this kind of worldly existence which is characterized by this repeated life cycle.
By the flow of birth and death. Janana Marana Pravaha Lakshanam Samsaram. Samsara, which is defined as the eternal flow of death and birth and death. They attain this. Adhigachanti.
They are involved and they get.
So etadrisha dhi rahitaha, those people who are devoid of such an intellect, atma tattva jignasa shunyaha, they do not have the jignasa jnatum ichha. They do not have that desire to know about the Atma Tattvam. So such people attain samsara, which is defined by Janana Marana Pravaham, which is defined by the flow of Jananam and Maranam, as described by Sri Shankara Bhagavad Pada in the Mohamudgara Stotram, which is Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Okay? Again and again, they get into this. Okay. Someone else wants to go? Janani solriya?
Go ahead.
Oh, Janani dana solid. Okay.
Wow.
Adhiraha avivekinaha vignabhayat kinchidapi karyam naiva arabhante. The irresolute people, from the fear of obstacles, don't even start anything.
Kinchidapi karyam na arabhante.
Don't start any task at all. Atayeva te nichaha iti adamaha iti cha uchyanti. So that's why the irresolute people are called nichaha, what do you say?
Lowly people.
Low life.
Low life or adamaha.
Last category. Adhama, uttama, madhyama, adhama.
Okay. Iti, they have been described as such. Madhyamaha tu kimapi karyam arabhya vignaihi baditaha santaha karyam parityajanti. The
middle category of people.
The
Mid.
Medium category of people, mediocre people, they start something after having started something, and having been affected by some obstacle,
Vignaihi badhitaha santaha.
Being affected by obstacles, they leave what do you say?
Karyam parityajanti. They forsake their work in the middle itself. So that is why they are in the middle category of
middle category. Madhyamar, Sujata, writer Sujata, Mari Madhyamar. Uttamaha dhiraha tu shreyamsi bahu vignani iti ritya sanjatehi bahubhi vignaihi pade pade nitaram pedyamanaha api
स्वचिकीर्षितम्
स्वचिकीर्षितं श्रेयो हेतभूतं च कार्यं नैव विसृजन्ति. The
noble people, uttamaha dhiraha,
the noble resolute people, shreyamsi bahuvignani vignani iti ritya. Fame is attained by obstacles?
So anything that is beneficial always seems to have a lot of obstacles. So Shreyamsi na Shreyasngarche, it is something which is beneficial. So நல்ல காரியங்கள்லாம் விக்னத்தோட தான் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு. So any good work seems to have a lot of obstacles. Iti ritya, following this principle. They follow this principle, and because of that principle, sanjataihi bahubihi vignaihi. The pade pade nitaram pidyamanaha. They are being troubled at every step.
Even though being troubled at every step, swachikirshitam shreyo hetu
bhutam karyam naiva visrijanti. They do not leave their karyam, their work, which is the hetu bhutam, which is the reason for shreyas, which is the reason for menmaikku karanamaga. அது எப்படி சொல்றது? அதான்
beneficial work.
சரி போட்டுப்போம். which is good for Shreyas and so chikirshitam, what they desire to do.
Okay. What is the form of this verb? Chikirshitam is
kartum ishtam chikirshitam. So sannanta pratyaya and then kridantam. So sanna potale it is an ichartha pratyaya. So on the doubling effect varum. Kartum ichchati chikirshati iti bhavati. Apo then you do a kridanta for it. Chikirshitam, kartum ishtam, whatever that was desired to do becomes a chikirshitam.
Okay.
When we have little bit of icha, we can't do sun, right? Only when we have lots of icha, we can do sun, right?
Why not? எனக்கு புரியல. அதுக்கு there is no gradation there.
Oh, even if it's little icha also we can do sun.
There is no gradation as far as I know.
Okay.
அப்போ பிபாசா புபுக்ஷாலாம் சொல்லவே முடியாது அப்போனா லைக் யூ ஷுட் ஹங்கிரி
unless you are extremely hungry. அப்படி லைட்டா இருக்கு அப்படிங்கறச்ச என்ன சொல்றது அப்புறம்? அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது. சன்னந்தா மீன்ஸ் சன்னந்தா இச்சா. Any type of icha is icha. That's all. There is no question of half desire and full desire.
I am eva ashayah loka kalyanam abhilashita
abhilashan bhartriharihi abhilashata bhartriharina tritiya
abhilashata bhartriharina subhashiteshu evam prakatitah padya rupena. I am eva ashayah.
Ashayah is this idea. So this idea alone, the same idea has been prakatitaha, has been shown in the form of a shloka padya rupena in his subhashitam by Bhartrihari, who
wishes for the welfare of the world.
Exactly. Avaroda shlokam.
So Ashayah is in Ekavachanam actually. So I was listening for a long time before. I used to think it's like Bahuvachanam, like Harayah, but it's not. It's Ekavachanam, Akaranta, like Ramaha. Ashayah prakatitaha.
Yes.
Right? It's karma padam in passive.
Oh,
Yes.
Asha Mari, like Ashaya is also
In
another.
Prathama
So
Ekavachanam.
Ashayaha contextually can be different. Ashayaha is desires in Yoga Shastram.
Intention.
If you, it is manas, it is intention, idea, anything.
But it's Ekavachanam here, yeah, basically.
Ekavachanam. Yes,
Going
it
with
is not
Pracharini.
Ashihi, Ashi,
Yeah.
Ashayaha iti
Oh,
nasti.
okay. Oh, even I was confused. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you see the Prakatitaha is also Ekavachanam, going with Ashayaha, right? That's the clue.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Got you.
But this thing is kind of clashing with, you must have heard of this Subhashitam, right? Anarambha hi karyanam prathamam buddhi lakshanam. Arambhasya tu antagamanam dvitiyam buddhi lakshanam. Have you heard of that, Mahoday?
No.
No, you're not. Okay. For a long time I was confused. I've heard of that Subhashitam as well. It stands as counterpoint to this, kind of. But it goes with the first thought which he said in the beginning of this paragraph, where he says that vicharya samyak vicharya eva arabdhavyam va na arabdhavyam va iti chintayati iti duktam. So nama anarambhasya api tatra mahatvam vartate iti kadachit kutrachit.
Possible, yes. It depends on the situation, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why
Then that-
vicharaha tu kartavyaha tatrapi.
Then that becomes a anuchitam. Then it is not even a karyam. So kartum yogyam eva nasti.
चिन्तारूपेण एव तत्र वर्तते इति कारणात् तत्र कर्तृत्वम् एव नास्ति तत्र. ओके.
प्रारभ्यते न खलु विघ्नभयेन नीचैः प्रारभ्य विघ्न निहता विरमन्ति मद्याः विघ्नैः पुनः पुनरपि प्रतिहन्यमानाः प्रारब्धम् उत्तमगुण न परित्यजन्ति इति.
So this is the definition from Niti Shatakam. Vigna bhayena nichaihi na prarabhyate eva. A work is never started because out of fear of obstacles by the low set of people. Vigna nihataha or vigna vihataha madhyaha prarabhya viramanti. Madhyaha, the mediocre people, vigna, they start prarabhya, karyam prarabhya. They start a work, and then vigna vihataha, they are being obstructed by their work is met with obstacles. Then viramanti, they stop in the middle. Vignaif punah punarapi pratihanyamanaha. Even though the uttama gunaha, the great people, even if they are again and again vignaihi pratihanyamanaha, they are being stopped by obstacles again and again, or adikyapatrika. இல்ல திருப்பி திருப்பி அடிக்கப்படுறா அப்படிங்கிறது. So even if they are being hit upon by obstacle after obstacle, still prarabdham na parityajanti. They do not let go of whatever they have started. Yeah. Continue.
लोके विघ्नाश्च बहुविधाः आश्चर्यजनकाश्च भवन्ति. In the world, many kinds of hurdles.
There are many types of obstacles which are ascharya janakaha, which can create wonder.
Yeah. Yeah. Kadachit, meaning like hurdles come in different
forms, unexpected ways. Adu vande he is going to give a different twist to the type of hurdle. See, every let's say it is something that comes in the middle. It need not be, it can either be a positive thing or a negative thing. We may think that it is positive, but it may be negative in certain perspectives. So you have to look at the context of that particular vignam that comes in to decide whether this is something that is helpful for our goal or not.
कदाचित् कार्यस्य परिसमाप्तेः पूर्वम् एव आनुषङ्गिक फलरूपतया लब्धाः विषयाः कार्यभञ्जकाः सन्तः विघ्नरूपतां प्राप्नुवन्ति. कदाचित् कार्यस्य परिसमाप्तेः पूर्वं, even before a karyam, a work is completed, anushangika phalarupataya labdaha vishayaha.
Anushangikam is secondary. See, we are proceeding towards a particular goal. As we proceed towards that particular goal, there may be other secondary achievements that we obtain. So there is a mukhya phalam and there is an anushangika phalam. Any work. For example, we want to write the exam. So if maybe writing the exam is your pradhana phalam, right? Or passing this level of Samartha is your pradhana phalam. So what is the secondary phalam that you get? Knowledge of Sanskritam. Or the other way around can also be there. Your goal could be studying Sanskritam, and your anushangika phalam could be, okay, I have passed 4 levels.
Anushangika phalam could be acquaintance with like-minded people, students.
That also is there. That is anushangika nale anu, that which follows as a this thing, secondary.
Anusanga, right? Secondary connection.
No.
कार्यभञ्जकाः सन्तः विघ्नरूपाताम् अप्राप्नुवन्ति.
So the labdhaha vishayaha, those things or those information that we get in the process in the form of secondary phalam, anushangika phala rupataya labdhaha vishayaha. What happens to those things? They actually destroy the work. Karya bhanjakaha santaha, because our primary goal is gone. He will give an example, very beautiful example for this. Karya bhanjakaha santaha. They become an obstacle for the work itself. They destroy the work itself. And vigna rupatam apnuvanti. They become obstacles in that manner. Yeah.
Goal breakers.
Goal breakers. If your goal is actually to understand Sanskritam and you just keep on writing exams, then that writing exam becomes, even though it is an anushangika phalam, it still breaks your goal of getting in depth into Sanskritam and understanding the language. If you're only focused on writing the exam.
This usually happens.
If the goal is if the goal is understanding Vedanta as means of our moksha, and we get caught in the beauty of Sanskrita Vyakaranam, that can also be.
That can also be, yes. Karya bhanjakaha eva tatra. I say the same thing for Vyakaranam with respect to Kavya, Ruchi also.
Yeah, like even you have told, like, yes, in the Natakala explain like if we go into too much of grammar, it will break the rasa. Like,
yes,
you get that.
It does, because your flow of understanding the poetry and the situation is completely lost when you're going into the nitty-gritty of grammar or even alankaram for that matter sometimes. It can destroy the beauty of that.
Chittavritti nirodha rupa phale nirvikalpa samadhau baddha lakshyāha yoga sadhanam abhyasyantaha kechana achirat eva labdham animadi siddhishu anyatamam siddhim prapya atmanam krithartam manyamanaha yogat viramya bhrashtaha bhavanti.
Okay, so the goal here is chittavritti nirodhaha eva phalam. So chittavritti, the thoughts that are going on in your mind, you want to stop that flow of thought. That is your aim for meditation. Okay, so in that process, when that is your goal, chittavritti nirodha rupa phale nirvikalpa samadho. So nirvikalpa samadhi, savikalpa samadhi are two types of samadhi. Samadhi is meditation. So vikalpa, savikalpa. Vikalpa itself means there is a difference between what I am meditating upon, who I am, and the process of meditation. So you have something called Triputi Karanam, Dhyana, Dhyatra, Dhyeya. Dhyayam, Dhyeyaha Paramatma or Dhyeyaha Vishnuhu. There is a person whom you are thinking about. So Dhyayam Vastu Kinchit Vartate. That is one. Then Dhyanam, it is the process of meditation that you are doing. And you are also aware of the fact that you are the person who are meditating. So, dhyata, ahameva dhyata, I am the person who is meditating. So, this kind of three things, if they are there in your process of meditation, it is called savikalpa. You can differentiate in your meditation. If you are unable to differentiate between yourself, the process of meditation, and Bhagavan, there is so much of in sync, then it is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Now, what is the goal for this Nirvikalpa Samadhi? Nirvikalpa Samadhi is where your thoughts are completely stopped. That should be your goal. So, Chitta Vritti Nirodha Rupa Phale Nirvikalpa Samadhau Baddhalakshyāha Kechana. So, some yogis are having this as the lakshyam, their goal, Baddhalakshyāha. And they are practicing yoga sadhanam. Yoga sadhanam is all the 8 Ashtanga yoga. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of yoga. And so yoga sadhanam ityukte, they practice the tools that you need to attain this level of achievement in your path of meditation. So some people keep that that goal in mind and they practice their yoga. When they do that, what happens is anushangika phalam. There are certain secondary things that come in between and disturb them. What are those? Those are the siddhis that they attain as they go. So their main goal may be to just the cessation of all the thoughts should be their main goal. But what happens is suddenly there are these 8 kinds of siddhi that they attain. Achiradeva, quickly. Labdham anyatamam siddhim. One of the siddhi among the 8 siddhis called Anima, Garima, Laghima, Prakashyam, etc. etc. There are totally 8 kinds of siddhis. What are these? Anima nale, the capability of becoming like a small anu. Garima, you can take Vishwarupam. Laghima, you can make yourself really heavy, or like Hanuman noda Vala vandu Bhiman tried to lift the tail of Hanuman, right? But he was so heavy that he could not lift that tail at all. So that is a case of Garima, which is one of the siddhis there. Laghima is the ability to fly. The ability to walk on water. So those are all the siddhis that you can attain as you go in this path of meditation. So animadi siddhishu anyatamam siddhim prapya. Having obtained one of the siddhi of the 8 siddhis that are there, that can be obtained, atmanam kritartham manyamanaha. They think they are successful. Kritartha is they have achieved their artham, prayojanam. They have achieved their goal. Iti atmanam manyamanaha. They think of themselves as having accomplished everything. Yogat viramya. They stop. And bhrashtaha bhavanti. Bhrashtaha is they slip from their goal. Bhrashtana nalvina vargalaka aidra.
They wander here and there from the goal.
Yeah. So they become prakatyat siddhinashaha. No? They attain that siddhi and then they try to show off that siddhi to people. And immediately it is like a bank balance. Once your bank balance is gone, you'll have to go back to tapas to get that kind of siddhi. So they become attracted towards that siddhi and let go of the goal, which is the ultimate goal.
Like Vishwamitra.
Is one example. Okay. Yeah, we have 2 more pages. We'll do that next class. Okay. We'll stop with this. Surya, any doubts so far? Okay.